Hello everybody, this is Spooky Noodles, and I've come with a book review. And today we are reviewing Richard Laymon's The Traveling Vampire Show. Okay, here's the back of it, if you can read that. Might be a little bit of a glare. Maybe this way. Anyways, sorry, dog's getting in the way. So the vampire show, the traveling vampire show, is about these three kids and their, way to the vampire show. You don't get to the vampire show till like three quarters of the book. So, yeah, that's something. But their way to get to the vampire. Excuse me. Their way to get to the vampire show is pretty awesome. You got some like mysteries, like who did this and why did that happen and blah blah blah. And once it's all wrapped up, you get to the vampire show, and the vampire show does not disappoint. Oh my gosh. Keep in mind that even though people say Richard Laymon is rapey, and though there were some perverted scenes, like there were some scenes that were kind of sketchy, this is all from the point the perspective of a boy at the time in the 60s. So yeah, boys are perverted at 15, 16, so all they can think about is sex. So, that book, I think it's justified. So, even though it's a very pervy book, it's justified by the kid's age. I'm not sure about Richard Laymon's other books, but you definitely get the sense you're reading it from a kid's sense of, or a teenager's sense of, perspective. Another thing about this book is the ending. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna spoil it for you because I believe y'all should read this book, because this is I've only read one Richard Laymon book, so it's not fair to say, but I'm gonna say this is one of my favorite books of all time, and it's definitely my favorite Richard Laymon book. I don't think he can top what he did with this book. It's that good. I haven't read a coming of age story this good in a long time. Actually, I've listened to the audiobook for it, and I like that a lot, but in my opinion, The Traveling Vampire Show is better. And I know that's probably like a sin to say, but I mean, The Body is a good story by Stephen King. It's a good book by Stephen King. But The Traveling Vampire Show is one of those, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. My favorite character was Slim by far. Rusty, he was good until the very end. Like, there were some moments, hopefully I'm not spoiling anything by saying this, but I thought something was going to be going on with Rusty, because Rusty acted so weird near the end of the book that I thought maybe Rusty wasn't who he said he was. So this book had me guessing all the way till the end, And sorry guys. So yeah. Lee was a good character. Our main character, Dwight, he was okay. I liked him, but Slim stole the show by far. And Slim, I don't know. I'm not gonna give it. I usually do spoils, so I spoil the shit out of books. But I'm gonna try not to spoil this book for you guys, because this is such a good book. I mean, I understand all the blurbs on the back, the quotes from other authors saying, like, if you missed Laymon, you missed a treat by Stephen King, No one writes like Laymon, and you're going to have a good time with anything he writes. Dean Koontz. I don't know what else to say about this book other than it was a treat. Very, very big treat. And I'm very, very appreciative that I was pointed in the direction of this book by Edward Lorne. Because if it wasn't for his Richard Laymon top 5 video, I wouldn't have known who this guy was, and I wouldn't have not looked this book up. Very happy I did. It's the first book of my, well, it's technically it's the second book of my COA, my coming of age TBR. I read The Troop, or I listened to the audiobook of The Troop by Nick Cutter. I believe the guy's real name, that's a pen name or a pseudonym. I believe his real name is like Craig Davidson or something like that. But anyways, this isn't about that. The Troop was amazing too. I'll probably do a review on that. But this book was so good. There's a scene with a dog that's good, you know. There's a scene where I'm not gonna spoil anything. This book is so good, and if you see this book anywhere, grab it. Seriously, put this at the top of your TBR because this is such a good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's all I can say about the book. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Alright, bye.